Alrighty then. We seem to be in the middle of a bit of a scuffle. What are we gonna do about it? Let's find out.
Though I know I should be wary, still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose. Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
And we're back. We've assumed more of a humanistic form right now. Welcome, everybody. I see you there, Eleanor. Thank you so very much for joining us. Today, we're going to be discussing a little bit more of modern memetic theory, totally ninjaing MMT from modern monetary theory, but it just happens to work, so we can kind of yin and yang, a little zit and that. Welcome, Jelly Duck. Thank you so much for joining us. So what the heck am I all talking about? So, like many conversations, I was talking with some folks on Discord, and they were chatting about this and that. Like, oh, I can't stand this. Oh, they're doing all these race swaps, all these gender swaps and everything. And I'm like, okay. And it's like, well, do you remember this movie back in the day where Brandy did this or that? It's like, no, not really or anything. It's like, well, I hate it when they're forcing it. It's like, are they? I mean, is this really anything new? Just isn't this the standard progressive leftist and stuff like that? What are we doing? It's like, well, we're trying to correct for like historical oppressions, which if you're going to apply even just finance in and of itself, the potential minimizing of the ability over many years, time value of my. I'm just saying, there's arguments for it. There's arguments for it, and it's like, well, is this anything new? Or is this just being brought to people's attentions by people yelling on the internet? I'm just saying. It's like, well, look at these articles. It's like, yeah, no, they wrote articles before. Are there people virtue signaling? Nobody would ever virtue signal on the internet. How else do you earn internet points? I don't know. But yes, I am totally a Taurus. I am totally a Taurus, as well as welcome Parrothead. Yes, I know squirrels are very shiny. We don't always need.
Open Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Open Gangnam Style.
You got me. I do like my squirrels. Why? Because the dog from a new movie I never watched seemed to like squirrels. He could talk. He had a collar. I think the movie was up. All I'm saying is, yeah, well, technically, if you're correcting for zodiac signs, maybe I'm not a Taurus. I don't even know what the heck I am anymore. Well, then again, I am a half-Jewish dragonkin on this internet of stuff and things. But as far as memetic tensors and the culture war go, all right, well, people are saying, well, they took, what was it, Marie Antoinette or something. It's like, oh, she happened to be a Caucasian gal. They cast a black woman. So, all right. Did she do a good job? Now, I understand. You're changing the historic figures there. It's like, okay, maybe as part of that is a push, or as part of that a push back. And but what I mean is a little this for that. Because while it could be framed in a positive thing, it's like, I help you, you help me. How about the reverse? You're a dick to me, I'm a dick to you. Now, I personally can't help that because Dick is my middle name. I'm Dick. What can I say? But as far as all that goes, it's like, all right, well, let's see. I remember there was something else before. Was people were making a big deal. Oh my God, can you believe they had black characters in Beauty and the Beast? I mean, God, it was like in historic France or something like this in this children's animated series about a young lady meeting a half man, half lion, furry creature that must fall in love before the last petal on the magical rose wilts and the magical spell will be permanent. I'm just saying, which one of these things is more unlikely? I'm just saying. If that happened to be a case, and there were a whole bunch of people kind of going nutty bananas on the internet, which I remember a whole bunch of people going nutty bananas on the internet, and all of a sudden the people are like, the heck is wrong with these people? This is a children's show about a freaking mythical beast. It's like, You really care there's some black folks in the background? It's like, I don't know. Might it get to the point where, like, these people are being dicks? Is Marie Antoinette, does her historically being a Caucasian woman really have anything to do with it? I don't remember at all. She was just a famous person. Give me a little, you get a little. Especially if people are making money. Why wouldn't you? I mean, this is just a conflict model. And the terrible thing is I actually have a whole bit about Jon Stewart, like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, literally on Crossfire, the CNN thing, where it's like, they have the conservative, they have the liberal, and it's like they're just pitting people against each other to yell. And I think that's why the O'Reilly Factor did so well on Fox News for so many years. Why? Because at some points there'd just be a whole bunch of people yelling. That was usually the point where I changed the channel. That's why I can't really watch many of Sean Hannity's things, because, well, why? Well, you're on the news. Oh, well, you need to get out there. Well, you only have like a 15, 30-second bite. It's like, so you need to get out your standard talking points, your little zinger, your little metaphor, you bada boom, bada bing, political sales 101. I am not a political analyst. I just happen to study business, and this was just literally basic business. You go through this process, you get those little things out there. What are you trying to communicate? You're trying to communicate a meme. It's a memetic. It's like, oh, well, we conservatives, we want to have low taxes, this and that. It's like, oh, well, we liberals, we want to have health care and stuff like that. It's like, are you actually having the story? This is the thing. I listened to freaking Senator Sanders on Joe Rogan. It's like, you actually have like an hour with Senator Sanders. It's like, he explains things very well. I hate his quick pitches. It's like, free this, free that. It's like, you gotta explain that to people. And he actually goes through and explains. And whether you actually understand him or not, it's like, Parrot Head, make sure you don't fly or operate any machinery while you're intoxicated. I would not be a responsible host if I did not point that out. Yes, that is what she... Jelly, I'm not gonna lie. Some days, man, I feel like a woman. I love that song. But as far as this goes, it's like, all right, could it be possible that in response to people going a little bit nutty bananas on the internet, certain folks within some of these production companies may just be like, screw these people. It's like, they want something to complain about, let's troll the heck out of them. I mean, it's not like they made a Rocket Jedi or something. Or named a couple of characters after, I don't know, like a safe space and something. I don't even remember. Apparently they came up with comics. If they did, I'm pretty sure somebody actually bought them. Somebody has these. We'll just burn them. That would not be environmentally friendly. If you're going to utilize the resources, especially to troll somebody, like I totally tried to do the UK Parliament a couple of years ago. God, such a horrible human being. This is the thing. Whatever you're exposed to, especially depending on the frequency and the number of circles, certain things will be normalized for you. If you're coming across people of, regardless of political affiliation, of one side or the other, you have a category in your head. It's all right, it's left or right. It's like, oh, it's a conservative, it's a leftist, or whatever other identities and anti-identities that we like to view ourselves as. All right, whatever happens in a large frequency, and depending on the severity and your exposure, your frequency to that, and especially with different folks within your circles. That was one of the smartest, worst ideas that, oh, excuse me, that was the worst, worst idea ever. Google Circles. It literally solved it. You communicate with these different people. Why didn't it work? Well, Facebook was a thing, and people were kind of decently happy, except every update, which, let's face it, people love to complain about things. Why? Because we can. My issue is when people actually start hurting other people. As soon as you start harming another human being, that's my general heuristic for, it's like, all right, that's where my freedom ends. Just because, don't harm. Don't hurt your fellow creature. So, going back to these tensor networks, again, it's like, what the heck is that? It's a relation. It's like, all right, I lean against this wall. All right, I'm leaning. I remove my hand. I hit the wall. Why? There was tension between my arm and this wall. Kind of like with gravity and stuff right now, it's like, well, we're kind of being pulled down. It's like, all right, so we can actually try to get up and actually do something. It's like, all right, these are causal relationships. If all of a sudden there's a pressure there, if all of a sudden you remove that pressure, this is my thing. This is my thing. Because as soon as you start pushing, well, the wall pushes back. To be fair, that might technically be true. Again, I am not a physicist, but pushing against that wall right there was a reaction. It's like, all right, if you push up against somebody IRL, a lot of times they push back. So why should the internet be any different? The internet's people. People be people. Wise woman once said something like that. Are humans gonna human? You are a wise woman, Shirati. I do miss you. I hope you're doing all right. But all I know is what we got to do. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Why? Well, isn't that what we want to do? Because
No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
here's the thing. I just like to have fun. I like to put some ideas out there. Because it's the internet. Isn't that what it's for? You don't always got to be a dick. There's another video coming on that. D-bed. Don't be a dick. But you also got to factor in for internet. It's like you tell someone not to do something for anything, I'm going to totally want to do it. That's just how it goes. So just some things to think about, some things to chew on. Because in the same case, it's like if somebody just kind of goes at you, if they actually want to do something, if you just get out of the way, isn't that what happens in Spain when they're fighting bulls? They do not condone the harming of a furry creature. I'm a horrible human being, but we got to try to make up and help our fellow creatures out. I'm just saying, if someone comes at you and it's like, rather than trying to fight them off and everything, you just get out of the way. I mean, maybe they'll just run into a wall. Metaphorically, of course, because we don't want people to be injured. I'm just saying, if people hurl all these things, a lot of times our initial response is, well, we fight or flight. Well, we got to get defensive. It's like, is it a straw man? Are they actually saying something that's legit? Or if they're just incorrect, then a person can be incorrect. Why? We're human beings. We're perfectly imperfect creatures. Now I'm pro-furry. Dude, I'm a total scaly. I've been a furry for a while. It's all right. It's all right. Now I realize you're new. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. We try to be very inclusive here. We speak to lots of people all across a very broad spectrum of this internet stuff and things. Because how else are we going to know our fellow creature? Just wag our fingers at them and tell them they're evil? Is that really productive? I mean, it's fun. I called MC a boomer. I used the OK boomer thing. It was so satisfying. But it was cheap. It was cheap. It really wasn't creative and stuff. That's why I try not to do it that much. It's like, yeah, you can go for the little soft spots here and there, but it's like, hey, you do what you can. You be the best meme you can be. Because to be fair, the means of destruction, I don't even know if it's actually me. I think it's more of just an idea. I said that. Oh, anybody I'm going to try to make, I'm just made it that much harder. It's all right. As long as we're honest about it, I think we can actually move ahead. But it's don't do it in public, Parrothead. Whatever somebody's going to do behind closed doors, again, don't molest the stuffed toys in a children's store. It's not a good idea. Somehow I think there was a story. Actually, I don't even think it was Florida this time. It's all right. They have sunshine laws. Again, is Florida weird? It's a wonderfully weird place. Is it much weirder than any other place? I actually don't know. Look at the areas where they actually legally have to publish all these different things. I'm pretty sure we're more similar than we are different. But that's all we're going to have for now. Thank you all for joining. Shout out to my patrons, Dave M. and Joe Franco. This broadcast is helped made possible by viewers like you, as well as all our good folks in the chat. Hey, take care, peace out, be safe. Squirrel.
낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자 오빤 강남스타일